Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Oh, let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
Hey guys, welcome back to Coco Kidneys, and today I'll be doing a video about whether Traderie is a good website to use or not. But before we get started, make sure to subscribe and like and comment down below. Let's get on with the video. First, let's start with a quick overview on how Traderie works. Traderie is a third-party website that allows you to trade on multiple games such as Adopt Me, Royale High, Breaking Point, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and games similar to that. The fundamentals of how it works is that a player will create an account in which they can display a username, a profile picture, a short biography, and whether their status is online, offline, or busy. Let's say that I wanted to sell the Spring Halo for quite a lot of diamonds. I'd add a listing and write how many diamonds I'd like to sell it for. I'd type in how many diamonds I'd request for it, and then I'd be able to see the results of what people would offer for it. I waited about an hour and then I looked back on all the offers I got. And if you notice something, you'll see that the later offers actually offer more diamonds than the earlier offers. This is an advantage of using Traderie, as when people see other offers, they're pressured to make better offers, getting you the best offer possible. Instead of just adding in diamonds, you can also add in items and how many items you want. This includes all the items possible to trade in Royale High, and it applies to other games as well. Instead of just adding listings for the item you're looking to trade, you can also go to Looking For and write how many diamonds or items you'd like to trade for the item that you're looking for. This can be a very useful feature. Lastly, it allows you to see the average price in diamonds of the item that you're trading, as well as looking at the recent trades so you can see trades that people have actually accepted and decided to do. So is Traderie really a good app to use? Let's start by looking at what the actual Royale High devs have said. Full credits to the YouTuber Keysio for this, as I used her video to get the image for the tweet. Go and check out her video and leave her a like and subscribe. The tweet said that although it wasn't against the TOS, as if it was, other apps such as Discord and Twitter would not be allowed, they still didn't recommend it, as they said that it could be a waste of time and you could easily get scammed. Now, from an objective point of view, I think that this should be judged on whether it is safe and effective to use. However, from a subjective point of view, as I use Traderie, I find that it's actually pretty good and it helps me to not get scammed. This is because of the fact that you can see the average amount of diamonds it goes for, as well as the recent trades. Because of this, you can see what people actually accept and trade it for, meaning that you can see what people trade for without having to go onto YouTube or do tons of trades and see what people think of it. Another thing about this is that I'm not meaning to be biased, but for some reason, even though I am a YouTuber, I feel like big YouTubers usually get much better trades. Whether it's because they spend more time or they just have better training methods, I'm not sure, but I think that YouTube can be a little bit misleading. Not only that, most YouTubers probably do it right when it's released, so they get massive overpays. And if I say so myself, that is a definite good method of getting good trades. I think that Traderie should be judged on two factors: whether it is safe and whether it is effective. So let's start off with, is it safe? Looking at it from a scamming point of view, I think that it is a little bit harder or just the same to get scammed, as if someone says, oh yeah, this item is actually worth the 2019 Halloween halo, you can probably just go into the recent trades and see the average price of what the item is worth or what the Halloween halo is worth, and because of that you can be like, no, people are like not trading that for it, you're scamming me. And looking at it from terms of trust trades, I think that it is just the same as, it's basically the same thing except you're using a different platform to talk, or even you're just talking on Roblox when you've already friended. Looking at it in terms of cross trades, I think that it's a little bit easier and a little bit harder to get scammed, so it basically cancels out and is the same risk of cross trading in game. It's a little harder to get scammed when you're cross trading, as you can use Traderie as a way to leave them bad reviews, say that they scammed you, and because of that the person will be like, if someone leaves me a bad review, no one's going to trade with me anymore, so they'll be a little bit discouraged because of that. But at the same time, if a person uses that as an excuse and the person is just like, oh yeah, I can just easily create a new account, or they don't really care and they'll just say that the person who wrote the review is lying, it could be a little easier for you to get scammed if the person is planning to scam you. So because of that, I think that the two sides cancel out and make it the same risk of getting scammed by cross trading on like Roblox. Although cross-trading is banned, I still know that many people do it, which is why I included it in this video, but I definitely do not recommend cross-trading as you can easily get scammed. Looking at it in terms of getting like hacked by clicking on a link from the chat, I think that it is definitely easier to click on a link in Traderie as it won't tag out like it does in Roblox. However, if you are on Traderie, you're most likely old enough and probably should be old enough to understand the risks, and because of this I think that not many people are going to click on a random link and just go wherever it is. It specifically actually says do not click on any links, as well as some other stuff about getting scammed, and there is a report feature which will allow you to report the person and send it to the Traderie moderators. Due to this, I don't think it poses much of a risk. If someone is looking to hack into your computer without using any links, I have no idea how that works, but I'd say that it's the same risk as playing in Roblox because they're both like apps that you're on, so I don't think it would make much of a difference. In overall terms of safety, I think that Traderie is pretty safe to use as, firstly, if you are using it, you're probably old enough and probably should be old enough to be able to understand the risks and act well when you have to face one. Looking at it from a scamming point of view, I think that it's the same risk or even just a little bit harder to get scammed on Traderie. Because of this, I think that if you're old enough to know what you're doing, Traderie is pretty safe to use. Well, that moves on to the last point. Is Traderie effective, or is it just a huge waste of your time? I personally think that Traderie is very effective to use. This is because you don't have to be in the trading hub waiting around for hours for someone to finally have the items you need, then getting rejected or made to add or made to add stuff or overpay, and you don't really have a backbone to go on to see what other people are trading for or if you're doing a massive overpay. I also think that because of the filters that you can add in, as well as making listings and finding listings and making offers within like a minute and then making tons of offers and being able to wait around and do other stuff means that you have a higher chance of being accepted and it wastes less of your time. Also, apart from trading, like I've said before, Traderie can be used sort of as a backbone to see what other people are trading for items. When I'm trading in Adopt Me or Royale High, I often go to Traderie and see what the recent trades are to see what people have been trading for their items and what it's really worth. Of course, nothing's going to be for sure perfect, but I think that this is a pretty good way to see it. In conclusion, I think that Traderie is very effective as you can make and create offers very quickly, and you can create large amounts of them, giving you high chances of getting what you want. It's also something to go on to see what items are worth, and it's pretty accurate in that sense. Because of this, I think that Traderie is a pretty effective app. My opinion is that when Traderie is used well and sensibly, it's very effective. However, watch your step as you could get scammed or hacked, like in all other situations. If you've made it this far into the video, then wow, thank you so much. This is one of my longer videos and I have no words. If you did enjoy the video, leave a like and subscribe, and feel free to comment down below. I'll be really interested to hear your opinions and what you guys have to say. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.
1, 2, 3.
My darling, I love you, 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 I love you.